Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to HKTV Monster Jam. I'm your commentator, B-RyeTheGameGuy, and we're so excited to have you, whether it's your first time being here with us, or you were with us last time for Stop 1 of Stadium Tour Red. We're here for Stop number 2 in Orlando, Florida, with our lineup of drivers ready to tear it up once again. We got Tyler Richmond in Bakugan Dragonoid, Cole Champion in Max D, Alex Ferrulo in Gravedigger, Chris Pervolarakis in Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Armando Barbosa in Shaker, Cullen Black in Monster Mutt, Jake Keys in Black Pearl, and Max Halpert and El Toro Loco. Here are how the season points stand at the moment. Our leader is Black Pearl with 18, Gravedigger right behind him with 16, Bakugan Dragonoid and Max D though creeping up with 15 points. Let's see what drivers can make up some points here today and get a higher position on the leaderboard. Here we go, round 1 of racing, ready to get into the action. First off, we'll have Max Halpert and El Toro Loco taking on Alex Ferrulo in Gravedigger. There they go. Good start for both trucks. Gravedigger with a nice corner coming out of turn 2, up over the racing lane. A slight advantage it looks like for Gravedigger right now. Let's see if El Toro Loco can make it up a little bit. Around the corner they go. It's going to be all Gravedigger, all Alex Ferrulo. A great race number 1. And Gravedigger will move on to the next round. Race number 2 of our first round will feature 2 trucks that had a solid performance last week, ready to get it going here again today. We have Jake Keys in Black Pearl going up against Chris Pervolarakis in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. This should prove to be an exciting race. Let's see what these drivers got for us. Off they go. Oh, over the turn box for Black Pearl. That's going to get him sideways. That is going to cost him a lot of time here on this run. Mohawk Warrior now with a big lead. All he has to do is not mess up, get there a nice smooth finish, and he'll take this win. Black Pearl making up some ground, but it's not going to be enough in the end. It's all Chris Pervolarakis moving on to round number 2. Race number 3 now. We have 2 trucks that once again had an incredible performance last week. Cole Champion in Max D going up against last week's racing winner, Cullen Black in Monster Mutt. Can Monster Mutt repeat the racing victory today? It's going to have to start here in round 1. Let's see what he can do. Great corner for both drivers. Almost dead even coming over the racing lane. Looks like a slight advantage to Monster Mutt. Max D might be able to make up some ground here. They come for the finish. A very close finish. We're going to have to take a look at that one, ladies and gentlemen. They were dead even hitting the racing lane, but it looks like Max D had a bit of an advantage, and he's going to move on to round number 2. And for our final race here, round 1, it's going to be Tyler Richmond and Bakugan Dragonoid going up against Armando Barbosa in Shaker. Both trucks did not have the racing performance they wanted last week. Both went out in round 1. Let's see if they can change that today. One of them's going to have to take the victory. One of them's going to have to move on to their first round 2 of the year. Let's see who wants it more. Coming around the final corner, and it looks like it was Bakugan. Oh, look out. Armando Barbosa goes over. Laid it all on the line, had the hammer down the whole way at the finish. Let's see if it paid off for him. He was a little wild coming off, and I think that cost him some time. It's all Bakugan Dragonoid, but an incredible race nonetheless as we move on to round number 2. Up for our first race of round number 2, we got Mohawk Warrior going up against Gravedigger. Off they go. Both trucks with a solid round number 1. Let's see who wants it more here. Pretty even coming off the racing lane as they go into this final corner. Let's see who can take the advantage. A close finish, but it's all Gravedigger moving on. An exciting race throughout. Looked like Mohawk Warrior didn't hit the racing lane square, and that definitely cost him there at the finish. And it's all Gravedigger moving on. For our next race, we have Max D and Bakugan Dragonoid. A great start for both drivers. It looks like a little bit of an advantage of Max D, but he got a little wild coming off the racing lane. Let's see if he can rein it in now. It's going to be pretty even. And it's all Max D moving on. And another wild landing. This time it's Bakugan Dragonoid and unable to save it. Over he goes on his lid. These drivers are laying it all on the line here today, and you can see it with finishes like that. Here we are, the championship race. Cole Champion and Max D going up against Alex Ferrulo and Gravedigger. Alex Ferrulo lost in the final round in stop number 1 of Stadium Tour Red. Let's see if he can get that back today. Flips the turn box just a little bit. That might hurt him. But they look dead even their first time by. Going into the final corner. Let's see who's going to take it. And oh my, I have no clue. That was so close. I couldn't tell. We have to go to replay here. Oh, they're dead even. And just by a hair, it's Cole Champion and Max D. What an incredible race here in the final. Go ahead and celebrate, Cole. You deserve it after a racing performance like that. Oh, gets a little sideways on the donut. You know he's happy in there. Moving on to skills with some momentum. Here's how the points will stack up so far for today's event. Max D being our racing winner in the lead with 8. Closely followed behind with Gravedigger with 7. Bakugan Dragonoid with 6. And the rest of the pack rounds out as such. Let's see if these drivers near the bottom can make up some ground in our next event. First up, we'll have Max Halpert and El Toro Loco. Going for the stoppie here. Walks it out into the nose wheelie. Looks like he's going to try. He will reverse it into the moonwalk. Solid control so far. Nice and steady. Nothing too crazy. Oh, look. Pops the hood off there. Rolls it back down and brings it back. Look at this control. Oh, look out. Can he save it? Stomps on the gas, and he will. It looked for a second like he might go over as he goes for a second hit now. Another nose wheelie back into the moonwalk. Can he pop up the front end? He will. Keeps it up. Nice control. Nice balance into the wheelie now. Powers it out up and over the pod. Look at that. Brings it back down on all fours. A solid score of 8.837 for El Toro Loco. That's a great way to start the skills competition. Next up, we have Jake Keys in Black Pearl. Let's see what he can do on his first hit here. Pops up the rear end into a stoppie. Into a nose wheelie now. Walks it out. Walks it out for a good distance, too. Able to bring it back for the moonwalk now. Back up over the racing lane. Ooh, gets a little wild on the hood. Pops it back up and brings the front end up for a second. On this second one now. Another nose wheelie. Tries to walk it back, but he'll set the truck down. It will hurt his score a little bit, but a score of 8.384. Still nothing to scoff at. A solid first hit helped him out a lot there. Next up, we have Cullen Black in Monster Mutt. Oh, look at this. A very innovative start to his hit. Walks it back now for the moonwalk. Something unique like that should score big with the judges if he can do something with it. Set it down a little early, but going into his second hit here. Let's see what he can do. Oh, unable to pop up the rear end. And only a score of 8.122. I loved how innovative that first hit was, but just not enough on the second. Next up is Armando Barbosa. Going for the bicycle here and does not get it up. On his second hit, goes for the bicycle again. Nice control, gets it on the sidewall. Is going to go out for a sidewall donut. Look at this, spinning around on the lid. Brings it back down. Did not think he was going to be able to save that. A score of 8.011. Definitely not going to be enough to make an impact after that first hit not being what he wanted, but still exciting nonetheless. Next up is Chris Pervolarakis in Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Into the stoppie. Walks it back now for the moonwalk. Sets down, brings up the front end, able to pop it up, power it out. Look at this. Oh, over he goes. And able to save it. Wow. An exciting first hit for Mohawk Warrior. What can he do here? A bicycle. Spins it around, pops up the front end. Oh, now on the other side. And pops it again for another power wheelie. What a hit from Mohawk Warrior. And that is a score of 9.184. That's a new leader. Rightfully so. 2 incredible hits. Let's see what Bakugan Dragonoid can do now. Tyler Richmond just saw the best run come out right before him. He knows he's got to be exciting. He knows he's got to innovate. Goes for the bicycle now. Up over the pod. Oh, going to get a little wild here. Into a power wheelie. Slowly walks it out. You love the control and the finesse here. Sets it back down. What a first hit. Here he goes for a second hit now, going for a slap wheelie. Pops up the rear end. Into a nose wheelie. Oh. Able to settle it. Walks it back into a moonwalk. Another great finesse move here from Bakugan Dragonoid. Pops up the front end and sets it back down. A score of 9.396. Just like that, we have a new leader. And rightfully so, those were two great hits. Now Alex Ferrulo and Gravedigger going for the bicycle to start his. Walks it out for the longest distance by far. Pops up the rear end now. Bicycle to moonwalk. After a distance like that, and able to keep it going and walk it all the way back down the track. Up and over the racing lane and somehow keeps it going in the moonwalk. Look at this from Gravedigger. Settles it back down. What a first hit. On to his second hit now. Going for another bicycle. Looks like he's going to try to walk it over onto the sidewalls. He will. Spins it around now for the donut. And settles it back down. Maybe a little earlier than he wanted, but still a solid hit. That first one was incredible. And it's not going to be enough to take the lead. A score of 9.190. Nothing to be mad at. A great run from Gravedigger. Now our racing winner, Cole Champion and Max D, comes out for his skills. What can he do here? Into the bicycle. Looks like he was trying to pop it up there. Won't get it. Spins it around. And settles it back down. Still exciting, but it looked like he wanted to pop up the rear end for the moonwalk. On to his second hit. He'll go for the bicycle again. Gets sideways. Ooh, look at that. Slams on the brakes and hits the gas again. And settles the truck back down. A score of 8.995. He will not be able to continue that racing win with a skills win. Still a solid score nonetheless. And our winner of skills is Bakugan Dragonoid with a 9.396. Right behind him was Gravedigger with a 9.190. And right behind that, Hawk Warrior with a 9.184. Solid runs for all of our competitors. Let's see if they can bring that momentum into freestyle and keep it going. Now for our first freestyle of the night, Max Halpert and El Toro Loco. Let's see what he can do. Sets up now for his first hit. And some nice air to start it off. Lands on the pod, able to keep it going and double it up. That is a great way to start your run. Now let's see if he can keep it going. You don't want to get trapped in the corner over there. Off the racing lane now for some huge air. Back across the middle section of the track. Hits the brakes to be able to come nice and smooth on that landing. Keeps him going now. Stomping on the gas off the jammer. Huge air. Landing on the pod. Keeps it going. Pops up the front end. And hits the smoke. What a run so far from El Toro Loco. Started off great. Can he keep it going? Some nice air there. Able to double it up coming off the pod, but still nice and easy, nice and slow. Doesn't want to get into any wild situations to end his run early. With some nice air here. Let's see if he can start to change things up a bit now. We've seen the momentum, we've seen the air, we've seen him keep it up. Let's see if he can give us those wow moments. That's one right there with some huge air, by far the biggest of his run. And it looks like now he's setting up for the backflip. A lot of speed coming into it, a lot of momentum, but gets the backflip. Not quite the rotation he would have wanted, but he's on all fours, and that's what matters. He's got 35 seconds left. Pops up the rear end now. Walks it back. Ooh, unable to really get it, but that's still going to score big, just going for it. Hits the smoke coming off the pod again. Getting down to 20 seconds left. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can leave a lasting impression. Oh, look out here. Able to keep it going. And doubles it up with the sky wheelie. He's got 10 seconds left. Let's see what he can do to end his run. Stomping on the gas. With some huge air. Hits the smoke while he's at it. And that is going to end his run. A score of 8.831 for El Toro Loco. That is a solid score to start off freestyle. Coming out first and putting on a show like that. What a great job. Next up is Cullen Black and Monster Mutt. He's got a good run to follow, and he's going to try to start quick with some huge air. He saw El Toro Loco come out and put down a great run. He knows what he has to do to wow these judges. It's all about, can he execute? Can he come out here, fill the clock, do what he needs to do, give us the wow moments, some more big air. I want to see him get the momentum up a little bit more here. He's kind of working his way throughout the track, nice and easy, nice and slow, hitting things one thing at a time. He's got to start comboing things up if he wants to score big. "75 seconds left in his run. Let's see if he can kick it into the second gear. It's been solid so far, don't get me wrong. There's some more nice air there from him. It's been nice and consistent. But if he wants to score big and have a chance to be in our new leader, he's got to do something to wow the judges. And that's going to help a bit right there. Some more big air. Oh, and a wild landing, able to settle it back down. And keeps himself from throwing it in reverse. That's going to help his score a lot as well. He's going for the backflip now. Great rotation, able to get it going without having to mess around too much coming off the ramp. Look out, wild landing for Monster Mutt. I was just saying, oh, can he keep it going? And brings it back down, somehow, someway able to save that. I do not know how. Wild takeoff off the racing lane. I was just saying how off the backflip, he had the landing he needed to keep the run going without wasting too much time, and then he almost ended it, somehow able to keep it going with a wild save and some big air here. He definitely kicked it into second gear once he hit that backflip. A nice slap wheelie and a sky wheelie to beat it. Over on the lid, cases it to end his run. A score 8.584, not good enough to take the lead. I think he waited a little bit too long to kick it into second gear, but still a nice run from Monster Mutt. Next up is Alex Ferrulo and Gravedigger, looking to avenge a racing final round loss with a solid freestyle performance. Gets us started now. Nice air, nice and easy on the landing. We haven't seen anybody just fully send it coming over that pod yet. And I feel like the first person that does is in for a wild ride. And that's a bit of a wild ride right there with some nice air from Gravedigger. Oh, look at this slap wheelie coming off the pod. You love to see it. Definitely something we haven't seen yet tonight. And let's see if he can keep giving us things we haven't seen. That's what's going to take to score big with these judges. Pops up the rear end coming off the pod and walks it out for a wheelie. Oh, look out, a wild landing. Gets on the gas. Oh, can he save it? He will. For a second, it looked a little dicey for Gravedigger there, but he was able to pull it out. And now for some nice air off the pod. That might be the best distance we've seen all night off a takeoff like that. And here he goes for the backflip now. Over rotates just a bit, but able to settle it back down. Ooh, gets a little stuck there. That's what I was talking about in Monster Mutt's run. You don't want to get stuck coming off the backflip. Able to get out of it, though, without wasting too much time. He's got 40 seconds left. He's putting on a great run so far, but I don't know if it's enough to take the lead. Look at this, pops it into another slap wheelie on one tire now, over on the sidewalls, brings it back down. I mean, he's had the exciting saves. You cannot take that away from him. It's been a great run so far for Gravedigger. He's got 18 seconds left. What can he do to leave a final impression on these judges? Oh, look out. I said we haven't seen anybody send it over the pod. That might be why. And that looks like, look at this. Rolls it back over. They're going to shut him down. That's going to be it for Gravedigger, but an exciting end and a new leader with the score of 9.107. What a run from Alex Ferrulo and Gravedigger. And let's see if our next truck can come out and top it. Chris Pervolarakis and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. It's going to be all about chaining these moves together, keeping his momentum up, and giving us those wow moments that Gravedigger did. Coming off the jammer into a nice slap wheelie here. Walks it out across the track. Great start to his run. Let's see him put the hammer down now. Big air off the racing lane. A lot of guys are not afraid to hit that going as fast as they can. They know they can get some nice air off of it. Up over the pod now, keeps it going. Oh, look out, a wild landing, but able to settle it down. Great show of control over the truck there, because that one could have been real bad, real fast. 80 seconds remaining for Mohawk Warrior. Let's see if he can start to chain things together, getting some combos. Nice job there getting started, but you want to see him do it with a little bit more emphasis on the air, a little bit more emphasis on staying on the throttle and causing for those exciting moments just like this. That's what we need right there. You would have liked to see him come off a little bit harder, but just nice and easy over it to keep his run going. Doesn't want to get in too much trouble. And now with some big air off the jammer. Hard landing, but able to keep it going. Nice little slap wheelie. Oh, look out! Gets sideways, settles it back down. A nice save for Mohawk Warrior. 45 seconds remaining. As he makes his way over the pod, spins it back around. I don't know if he's had those wow moments to beat Gravedigger here, but look at that air off the step up. That was huge. First person we've seen get that big of air off of that tonight. Huge air now off the racing lane. He's got 20 seconds left. You got to think he's going for the backflip now. With not much time, it's going to put him in a tough place to get one last hit in. Let's see if he can hit this backflip first. He will. Nice rotation. Able to get out of it relatively quickly. He's got 8 seconds left. Slows down a little bit going over the pod. Still a wild takeoff, wild landing, and settles it back down. A nice run from Mohawk Warrior. Let's see if it was good enough to take the lead, and it will not be. A score of 8.858, as he's just having some fun out on the track right now. Still a good run from Mohawk Warrior as we move on to the next truck. Tyler Richmond and Bakugan Dragonoid now. See if he can catch Gravedigger. He knows he has to come down, and he knows he has to come out and lay it all on the line. And some nice air to start off his run. Big air now off the racing berm coming up over the pod. Keeps it going. You want to see him bring the momentum up a little bit here. Start getting into some combos. That's a good way to start right here. There we go. We've seen a lot of guys hit the brake coming off the pod when they're hitting that second ramp. He kept on the gas, kept it going, kept the momentum up, and that is what you like to see. It's going to cause for some wild moments, but if you can control the truck, it's going to give you some wow moments too. That will really boost your score. And some nice air from Bakugan Dragonoid. Oh, look at this. Pops it up into a sky wheelie off of it. Wild landing. He's starting to turn it up a little bit now, and that's what you like to see. Get into these combos. Get into these wild landings on the ragged edge. That's how you want to drive to be able to win this freestyle competition. The drivers out here are just too tough, too good. Going for the backflip a little early now. Over-rotates a bit. Tries to walk out of the moonwalk and hits the wall, but able to keep it going. Luckily didn't get himself into too much trouble. Lands sideways and walks it out. Walks out a bicycle landing, and it looks like he might have broke. Oh no, that is not how you wanted to end the run if you're Bakugan Dragonoid, and they're going to let him fire back up. He's all good to go. I was going to say that would be a shame if his run ended there. Look at him pop up the rear end, keeps it going. He's got 35 seconds left. He's had a solid run so far. I don't know if it's enough to take the lead, but he's got a lot of time to change that. $20 seconds left now. He's getting caught in no man's land a little bit. A cross thread now. We haven't seen cross threads tonight. Judges should like that. Let's see if he can keep it going. He's going to cross thread the jammer. Wild takeoff, able to settle it back down on top of the crush cars. He's got 5 seconds left. What can he do? Looked like he was going for the bicycle, and he's just driving. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's going to end his run on the sidewalls, and a score of 9.067 for Bakugan Dragonoid. Not enough to take the lead, but good enough for second place. And he's got to be at least a little bit happy with that. Next up, Cole Champion and Max D starts off right away, wastes no time with the big air. After a run like what we just saw from Bakugan Dragonoid, Max D's got to be wondering what he has to come out and do to take the lead. And you see he's got the hammer down. He's not letting off. Rightfully so. It's going to take some wild moments to win today's freestyle. He's got some good momentum to start so far, not getting lost out in no man's land too much, getting back on the throttle and keeping it going with some big air, lands on top of the pod, and doubles it up. If he can continue this momentum and fill the clock, we might just have us a new leader, ladies and gentlemen. But a lot of clock left. He's got 70 seconds. Can he stay in control but on the ragged edge like he's been so far? That's in control right there. A nice landing on the other side. Not huge air, but still solid enough to make an impression. Gets a little sideways there going over the pod. Still sideways coming off of it. Doubles it up and brings it back down. What a combo and wild landing at the end. Now he goes for the backflip. Great rotation. Pops up the rear end into the moonwalk. The first time we've seen a successful backflip to moonwalk tonight. The judges should love that. He's got 35 seconds left. Oh, and look out. Over he goes. Can he save it? And it rolls back over. Keeps it going. 23 seconds remaining. This run's not over yet. And he might change that here. Look out. Wild landing. Over on the lid. And this time, he's not going to be able to pull it out. But an incredible run. Only a score of 8.908. You have to think not filling the clock hurt him just a bit. But still a great run for Max D. Next up is Armando Barbosa in Shaker. Did not have the skills performance he wanted. Definitely wants to come out and make up for it here in freestyle. And a great start. Nice momentum to start us off. Gets swung around real quick. Doesn't get caught out there. Looking for what to hit next. He's just hitting what's in front of him. A little shaky on the landing, but able to get it back on all fours. Punches the gas with some nice air on top of the pod. Good transfer coming off the other side as well. 90 seconds left. He's doing a good job of getting from move to move. He's not spending too much time not hitting anything. You want to see him change it up a little bit because he's kind of focusing on that middle section of the track. As he pops up the rear end here for a nice little stop, he brings it back down. You want to see him venture out to the outside, get some different moves in here. He's got 70 seconds, though. A lot of time left and some nice air. And pops it up for the slap wheelie coming off it. Off of air like that, that is impressive. Hits the jammer at high speed with some big air. Hard landing coming down, and uh-oh, he's going to get in some trouble. Able to save it and keep the run going. Brings it back around now. I love the momentum he's had in this run so far. I don't think he's had enough big air and big moments to take the lead, but still a great run so far. Let's see if he can finish out strong. He's about to hit the 30-second mark. Up over the pod now with some nice air. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and line up for the backflip. 25 seconds left. Let's see if he can get it. Ooh, wild rotation, and over he goes. Tries to save it, and he will not. Shaker unable to fill the clock. A score of 8.787. Still a good run and a solid score to reflect for Armando Barbosa. Next up is Jake Keys in Black Pearl. Let's see what he can do here. Going to start out with a donut to start his run. You rarely see that, but nobody's done any donuts today. So that is a brand new move. The judges are going to love that. Let's see what he can do next. Nice air, nice momentum. You want to see him turn it up a little bit. I think he took a little bit too long to hit something after that donut. And a wild takeoff here, landing on the pod, able to straighten it back out. Oh, look out. Has to hit the brakes and keeps it going. Luckily, nothing on the truck breaks. Black Pearl is all good for the moment. Heading back to the pod. Sideways on the takeoff. Able to land it, though. And he's got 75 seconds remaining with a good run so far. and some huge air. Pops it up for the slap wheelie and walks it out. We saw Shaker do the same thing in his run. Black Pearl taking a little bit from the people he's seen before him and just adding to it so far with a great run. Look at this. Powers out the wheelie after the combo, able to settle it back down. He's got 50 seconds left. Going for the jammer now. Cross threads a bit over the jammer and brings it back down. Oh, lining up now for the backflip ramp. Perfect time to do it. Ooh, looked like he almost under-rotated a bit, but able to get it. Let's see if he can get out of there now. You don't want to waste too much time. Able to get on the gas and hit something else pretty quickly. Wild landing, but able to settle it back down. Oh, look out. There he goes. As soon as I said he settled it back down, and somehow the truck rolls over. Let's see if they let him go. They will. They won't shut him off. He's got 14 seconds remaining. What can he do to finish his run? Ooh, some nice air, but you want to see a little bit more than that. He's got 5 seconds. He's got one more hit. He's got to make it count. And some nice air over the pod. A solid run there for Black Pearl. I don't know if it's going to be enough to take the lead. As he finishes off here with a little extra for the fans. Oh, look out. And a score of 8.933 for Black Pearl. Not good enough for the lead. But still a great run. And he's still entertaining these fans. They finally shut him off. They'll go ahead and get him off the track. That means your freestyle winner is Alex and Gravedigger with a score of 9.107. Also being able to walk out with the overall event championship tonight. And here is how the season points will stack up after stop number 2 here on Stadium Tour Red. Our leader is Gravedigger with 38, but right behind him, Bakugan Dragonoid with 36, Baxty with 33, and Black Pearl with 28. The rest of the drivers follow out behind him. Let's see if next week they can make up some ground on our leaders. Thank you so much for joining us here in Orlando, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed yourself. I know we did. Hopefully you join us next time in St. Louis, Missouri when our Stadium Tour Red drivers burn it down once again. If you enjoyed, make sure you look out for the next stop of Stadium Tour Red as well as our other tours, Stadium Tour Blue and the Arena Tour. There's a ton of HKTV content for you to enjoy, and we can't wait to bring it to you. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.